Before France existed, there was Gaul, inhabited by Celtic tribes known as Gauls. Their lives changed with the arrival of the Roman Republic, leading to decades of conflict. By 51 BC, Gaul was vanquished, setting the stage for future France. Julius Caesar's conquest of Gaul was a cultural transformation. Roman law, infrastructure, and Christianity reshaped Gallic society. By the 4th century AD, Christianity dominated, laying the spiritual foundation for France. The Franks, led by Clovis, settled in Gaul, founding the Merovingian dynasty. Clovis's conversion to Christianity linked the Franks to the faith of Gaul. The Carolingians, under Charlemagne, expanded the kingdom, blending Roman and Germanic cultures. The Carolingians rose from palace mayors to kings. Charles Martel's victory at Tours and Pepin the Short's ascent marked their rise. Charlemagne's reign brought a cultural revival and expanded the empire. Charlemagne expanded his realm through military campaigns. He fostered education and arts, leading to the Carolingian Renaissance. Crowned emperor in 800 AD, his empire laid the groundwork for future European nations. The Treaty of Verdun divided Charlemagne's empire. This division led to the emergence of France, Germany, and Italy. The Carolingian Renaissance influenced European culture and learning. The Capetians emerged from the chaos post-Treaty of Verdun. Hugh Capet's election in 987 AD marked the start of the French monarchy. The Capetians expanded their influence, laying the foundation for modern France. The Hundred Years' War was a struggle for the French throne. Joan of Arc's leadership turned the tide, inspiring French patriotism. Despite her martyrdom, Joan became a symbol of French resilience. Post-Hundred Years' War, France entered the Renaissance. French kings became patrons of the arts, building magnificent chateaux. Leonardo da Vinci spent his final years in France, contributing to its cultural rebirth. The French Renaissance, for all its artistic brilliance and intellectual dynamism, coincided with a period of deep religious turmoil. The Protestant Reformation, sparked by Martin Luther's challenge to the Catholic Church, spread rapidly across Europe, dividing kingdoms and families alike. France, with its deeply rooted Catholic traditions, was not immune to the Reformation's upheavals. The arrival of Protestantism in France, initially embraced by some members of the nobility and intellectuals seeking reform within the Catholic Church, quickly became a source of social and political tension. The French monarchy, caught between its desire to maintain Catholic unity and its need to appease powerful Protestant factions, found itself drawn into a series of devastating religious wars. From 1562 to 1598, France was ravaged by 8 wars of religion, pitting Catholics against Huguenots, French Protestants. These weren't merely religious conflicts, they were struggles for power, influence, and control of the French monarchy. Massacres, assassinations, and sieges became commonplace, leaving an indelible scar on the French psyche. The St. Bartholomew's Day massacre in 1572, in which thousands of Huguenots were slaughtered in Paris, stands as a chilling reminder of the brutality and fanaticism that gripped France during this period. The Edict of Nantes, issued by King Henry IV in 1598, finally brought an end to the wars of religion, granting Huguenots a degree of religious freedom and political autonomy. The Edict of Nantes ushered in a period of peace, allowing France to recover from religious wars. In 1643, young Louis XIV ascended to the throne. Known as the Sun King, he believed in the divine right of kings. He He famously declared, "L'État, c'est moi, I am the state." Louis XIV transformed Versailles into a magnificent palace, a dazzling symbol of his absolute power. The Palace of Versailles became the envy of European monarchs. The 18th century in France was a time of profound intellectual and social ferment. The Enlightenment championed reason, individual liberty, and the separation of powers, challenging the absolute monarchy. Thinkers like Voltaire, Montesquieu, and Rousseau penned critiques of the existing order. Voltaire ridiculed the aristocracy and the church, advocating for freedom of speech and religious tolerance. Montesquieu argued for a separation of powers to prevent tyranny. Rousseau asserted that government derived its legitimacy from the consent of the governed. The Enlightenment's emphasis on reason and individual rights resonated with the bourgeoisie. The seeds of discontent sown by the Enlightenment were about to blossom into revolution. By the 1780s, France was teetering on the brink of revolution. Costly wars and extravagant court spending left the French monarchy deeply in debt. King Louis XVI, out of touch with growing unrest, couldn't stem the tide of discontent. Bad harvests and rising bread prices fueled anger against an indifferent system. In 1789, Louis XVI convened the Estates General to address financial woes. The Estates General quickly became a forum for the grievances of the Third Estate. The Third Estate declared itself the National Assembly representing the French people. On July 14, 1789, a Parisian mob stormed the Bastille, symbolizing royal tyranny. The fall of the Bastille marked the beginning of the French Revolution, shaking France and Europe. The French Revolution, initially greeted with hope and idealism, soon descended into the reign of terror. Led by Maximilien Robespierre, the Committee of Public Safety unleashed a wave of arrests and executions, with the guillotine becoming a grim symbol. In 1794, Robespierre himself was arrested and executed, marking the end of the most radical phase of the revolution. Out of the chaos and bloodshed of the French Revolution emerged a new figure who would shape the destiny of France and Europe, Napoleon Bonaparte. Born in Corsica, Napoleon rose through the ranks of the French army. His exploits during the French Revolutionary Wars made him a national hero. In 1799, Napoleon seized power in a coup d'etat, becoming first consul. He introduced the Napoleonic Code, a legal system still in use today. In 1804, Napoleon crowned himself emperor, aiming to restore France's glory. His armies swept across Europe, spreading the ideals of the French Revolution. Napoleon's ambition knew no bounds. His armies, marching under the banner of Liberté, Égalité, Fraternité, carved a path across Europe, redrawing borders and toppling centuries-old dynasties. He installed his relatives on newly created thrones, spread the ideals of the French Revolution, and challenged the established order like no one before him. His military genius was undeniable. From the sun-drenched battlefields of Italy to the snow-covered plains of Russia, Napoleon seemed invincible. Austerlitz, Jena, Friedland, these names became synonymous with Napoleonic triumph, etched into the annals of military history with awe and dread. Yet even Napoleon's star, which had shone so brightly, was destined to fade. His ambition, his relentless drive for conquest, sowed the seeds of his own destruction. The continental system, his attempt to cripple Britain's economy, backfired, fueling resentment and resistance across Europe. The invasion of Russia in 1812 proved to be his undoing. The vastness of the Russian land, the harshness of the Russian winter, and the scorched earth tactics of his enemies conspired to break the back of the Grand Army. The retreat from Moscow, a harrowing odyssey of starvation, disease, and death, shattered the myth of Napoleon's invincibility. Section 2, the Restoration and the July Revolution, a century of upheaval. Defeated and exiled, Napoleon's empire lay in ruins. The Congress of Vienna, convened by the victorious powers, sought to restore the old order, to turn back the clock to a time before the French Revolution had unleashed its torrent of change upon Europe. The Bourbon monarchy, deposed by the Revolution, was restored to the throne of France. Yet the France of the Restoration was not the France of Louis XVI. The Revolution had left its mark, its ideals of liberty, equality, and fraternity still resonating within the hearts and minds of the French people. The Restoration era was a time of political instability and social unrest. Monarchists, eager to reassert their authority, clashed with liberals and republicans who yearned for a more representative government. The July Revolution of 1830, sparked by the king's attempt to restrict press freedoms and electoral rights, toppled the Bourbons once again, replacing them with the more liberal Orleans monarchy. The July monarchy, though more receptive to reform, failed to address the underlying social and economic tensions that plagued French society. Industrialization, while bringing economic growth, also created new social problems: urban poverty, factory exploitation, and a widening gap between rich and poor. The stage was set for another revolution, one that would shake the foundations of France once more. Section 3. A nation forged anew. The Franco-Prussian War and the Third Republic. The year 1848 witnessed a wave of revolutions that swept across Europe, toppling governments and challenging the established order. France, once again at the forefront of revolution, saw the monarchy overthrown and the Second Republic proclaimed. The Second Republic, however, proved short-lived. Internal divisions, coupled with the ambitions of Louis Napoleon, nephew of Napoleon Bonaparte, led to its downfall. In 1851, Louis Napoleon seized power in a coup d'état, establishing the Second Empire with himself as Emperor Napoleon III. Napoleon III's reign was marked by economic prosperity and ambitious public works programs. He sought to restore France to its former glory, embarking on foreign adventures in Mexico and Italy. However, his miscalculation in provoking a war with Prussia in 1870 proved disastrous. The Franco-Prussian War was a humiliating defeat for France. Napoleon III was captured, Paris was besieged, and the Second Empire collapsed. In the aftermath of defeat, a new chapter in French history began: the Third Republic. From Belle Époque to existential crisis. The Third Republic, born out of defeat, was France's most enduring republic, a period of industrial growth, social reform, and mass politics. The Belle Époque was a golden age of culture and creativity. This peace was shattered by World War I in 1914. France, drawn into a brutal war with Germany. The Western Front symbolized the war's brutality. France emerged victorious but deeply scarred. Rebirth and renewal, the post-war era and the Fifth Republic. The end of World War II marked a turning point for France. The nation, devastated by years of occupation and conflict, embarked on a remarkable journey of reconstruction and renewal. The Fourth Republic, established in 1946, faced the daunting task of rebuilding a shattered nation, healing the wounds of war, and restoring France's position on the world stage. The post-war era witnessed a surge of economic growth and social progress, fueled by government investment in infrastructure, education, and social welfare programs. France, like many other European nations, embraced the principles of social democracy, creating a more just and equitable society. However, the Fourth Republic proved politically unstable, plagued by factionalism and unable to effectively address the challenges of decolonization and the Algerian War. The Algerian War, a brutal and divisive conflict that tore at the fabric of French society, exposed the weaknesses of the Fourth Republic and led to its downfall. In 1958, amidst political crisis, Charles de Gaulle, the wartime hero who had symbolized French resistance to Nazi Germany, returned to power. De Gaulle, a towering figure in French history, established the Fifth Republic, a new political system designed to provide strong leadership and stability. The Fifth Republic, with its powerful presidency and centralized government, marked a departure from the parliamentary system of the Fourth Republic. A tapestry of cultures, immigration, integration, and identity. The post-war era also witnessed a significant wave of immigration to France as people from former colonies in North Africa, Sub-Saharan Africa, and Southeast Asia sought new opportunities and a better life. This influx of immigrants, while enriching French culture and society, also presented challenges of integration and identity. France, with its long history of assimilation, struggled to reconcile its traditional model of national identity with the realities of a more diverse and multicultural society. The question of what it meant to be French in an increasingly globalized world became a subject of intense debate. The rise of far-right political parties exploiting anxieties over immigration and cultural change posed a challenge to France's commitment to tolerance and diversity. The debate over immigration and integration, often fraught with tension and emotion, reflected the broader challenges faced by many Western nations grappling with the complexities of globalization and multiculturalism. Despite these challenges, France, a nation renowned for its artistic and intellectual heritage, continued to be a beacon of creativity and innovation. French literature, film, fashion, and cuisine continued to captivate the world, a testament to the enduring power of French culture and its ability to evolve and adapt. France on the global stage, from colonial power to European leader. The post-war era witnessed the dismantling of European colonial empires, including France's own. France, once a global power with colonies spanning continents, had to redefine its role in a world increasingly defined by the Cold War rivalry between the United States and the Soviet Union. Charles de Gaulle, determined to restore France's grandeur and independence, charted a course of strategic autonomy, seeking to assert French influence independent of the United States. De Gaulle withdrew France from NATO's military command structure, developed its own nuclear deterrent, and pursued closer ties with the newly independent nations of Africa and Asia. France played a key role in the formation of the European Economic Community, the precursor to the European Union, seeing European integration as a way to enhance French influence and promote peace and prosperity on the continent. France, alongside Germany, became a driving force behind European integration, advocating for a more politically and economically unified Europe. France's international role extended beyond Europe. It maintained close ties with former colonies in Africa, providing economic and military assistance, while also engaging in peacekeeping operations in various parts of the world. France, a permanent member of the United Nations Security Council, continued to be a vocal advocate for multilateralism and international cooperation. The enduring spirit of France, a legacy of liberty, equality, and fraternity. The story of France is a testament to the enduring human spirit, its capacity for resilience, innovation, and the pursuit of a more just and equitable world. From the ancient Gauls, who first inhabited its lands, to the modern nation that stands as a beacon of democracy and human rights, France has left an indelible mark on the course of human history. The ideals of the French Revolution, liberté, égalité, fraternité, continue to resonate far beyond France's borders, inspiring generations to fight for freedom, equality, and brotherhood. France's rich cultural heritage, from its art and literature to its fashion and cuisine, continues to captivate the world, a testament to the enduring power of human creativity and expression. France, like all nations, faces challenges in the 21st century: economic uncertainty, social divisions, and the threat of terrorism. Yet the French people, with their deep-rooted belief in the values of liberty, equality, and fraternity, continue to strive towards a better future for themselves and for humanity as a whole. The story of France is far from over. It is a story that continues to unfold, shaped by the forces of history, the dreams of its people, and the enduring belief in the power of human spirit to overcome adversity and build a brighter tomorrow.